Tech giant Oracle will receive a copy of TikTok's algorithm to operate for U.S. users. Now, this algorithm is currently still owned by Beijing-based ByteDance. A White House official confirmed this morning that shifting that algorithm to a U.S. company will put concerns of national security to bed.
TikTok, a platform of endless scrolling, viral dances, political debates, and cultural shifts. But behind the fun, short-form videos lies a story of global power, national security, and political negotiation. Recently, the White House unveiled a deal that could give the United States control over TikTok's all-important algorithm, the very engine that drives what 170 million Americans see on their screens every day. This announcement marks a turning point, not only for TikTok, but also for the relationship between the United States, China, and the digital future. The significance of this moment stretches far beyond social media. It touches on questions of who holds power in the digital age, how governments protect their citizens' privacy, and what it means when entertainment platforms become arenas for international strategy. In today's video, we'll carefully unpack the story, giving you the full scope of what's happening. Background: the battle for TikTok's future. TikTok, owned by the Chinese company ByteDance, has been at the center of a heated debate in Washington for years. The concerns are straightforward but weighty: national security, data privacy, and influence over American public opinion. The U.S. has long argued that Chinese ownership of the app poses risks of data misuse, surveillance, and algorithmic manipulation. Lawmakers have repeatedly raised the possibility that sensitive user data could be accessed by foreign authorities, or that content feeds could be subtly adjusted to favor certain narratives. Over time, the U.S. government pressed ByteDance to sell off its American operations. The pressure peaked when former President Donald Trump first called for TikTok to be banned. What followed was a cycle of delays, extensions, and ongoing negotiations, with the app briefly going dark in early 2024 after the Supreme Court upheld a law requiring ByteDance to divest. Yet the app has survived, adapted, and continued to thrive in the U.S. market, showing just how deeply it is woven into the lives of millions of Americans. It's important to recognize that TikTok isn't just another app. It's a platform shaping youth culture, news consumption, and even political mobilization. Its significance explains why the debate over ownership has remained so intense and why the U.S. government sees this deal as critical. For many, TikTok is a digital public square, a creative outlet, and even a source of income, making its future more than just a policy question. It's a cultural milestone. The White House plan: control over the algorithm. So what exactly does the deal look like? According to White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, the arrangement ensures that 6 of 7 board seats for TikTok's U.S. operations will be held by Americans. Even more significantly, the deal places TikTok's algorithm under U.S. control, a move designed to put one of the world's most influential digital engines firmly within American oversight. Why does that matter? Because the algorithm is TikTok's crown jewel. It's what makes the app addictive, relevant, and powerful. By controlling it, the U.S. not only secures influence over what content goes viral domestically, but also limits potential foreign leverage over American digital culture. The algorithm has been called TikTok's secret sauce, and with its control, policymakers believe they are removing the single greatest vulnerability of leaving the platform tied to ByteDance. Leavitt confirmed that Oracle, a major U.S. tech company led by Larry Ellison, will oversee data and privacy for American TikTok users. This means the sensitive information of millions of users would no longer be directly handled by ByteDance, but safeguarded under an American corporate umbrella, with the promise of stronger legal accountability. The plan is not only about business, it's about building public trust. By assigning responsibility to an American company with established credibility, Washington aims to assure citizens that their data is secure and their digital experiences are shaped within transparent and accountable structures. It also sets a precedent for how the U.S. could manage similar concerns with other foreign-owned digital platforms in the future. negotiations and the role of China. While the White House has been clear about its expectations, Beijing's stance has been far more reserved. China's Commerce Ministry released a statement emphasizing that negotiations should respect the principles of market rules, compliance with Chinese law, and a balance of interests. China's official news agency Xinhua added some nuance, quoting President Xi Jinping as saying, "Beijing welcomes negotiations over TikTok." However, the details of what China will allow remain less certain. For Beijing, TikTok is more than just a social media platform. It's one of the few Chinese-owned apps with massive global influence, especially in Western markets. Relinquishing control over its algorithm is a major concession, one that touches on both economic competitiveness and national pride. This measured language signals that while China is open to dialogue, it is unlikely to give up influence easily. To Beijing, TikTok symbolizes not only innovation, but also China's ability to compete in the global digital economy. The Trump factor and shifting positions. One of the most fascinating aspects of this story is how U.S. leadership has shifted its position on TikTok over time. During his first term, Trump was one of the strongest advocates for banning the app entirely. Yet during his successful 2024 presidential campaign, he embraced TikTok as a way to reach young American voters, tapping into its enormous cultural influence. Now, Trump has publicly supported the New Deal. In fact, he described a recent call with Xi Jinping as productive, and even thanked the Chinese president for approving a way forward on TikTok's U.S. future. However, Beijing has not explicitly confirmed this approval. This reversal highlights how political leaders often recalibrate strategies based on changing circumstances. TikTok's influence proved too powerful to ignore during the campaign trail, and now a pragmatic approach appears more useful than a blanket ban. Trump's shift demonstrates how cultural tools can become political tools when public engagement is at stake. Oracle and the Ellison family's rising influence. At the center of this deal stands Oracle, a company that will play a crucial role in securing U.S. data and privacy on TikTok. Oracle's founder and chairman, Larry Ellison, is already one of the world's wealthiest and most influential figures in technology. His company's involvement gives Washington confidence that TikTok's infrastructure will be managed with American oversight. Interestingly, the Ellison family's influence is expanding beyond technology. David Ellison, Larry's son, recently acquired Paramount, the parent company of CBS News. This move consolidates the family's role across both media and technology, placing them at a unique crossroads of power in U.S. society. This expansion of influence raises broader questions. How might the overlap between media ownership and control over digital platforms affect the balance of voices in the United States? Will this concentration of power bring stability or limit diversity in perspectives? These questions are likely to grow more pressing as the Ellisons continue to expand their reach. National security concerns and legal framework. The U.S. Department of Justice has long voiced concerns about TikTok's potential national security risks, describing the scale of the threat as immense depth and scale. The fear is not only about data collection, but also about how the algorithm might be used to subtly influence public opinion, particularly during elections or moments of political unrest. These concerns shaped the law passed in early 2024, which banned TikTok unless ByteDance divested from U.S. operations. The law received a significant test when the Supreme Court upheld it, briefly forcing TikTok offline. That moment highlighted just how serious Washington is about separating TikTok's U.S. operations from its Chinese parent. The current deal reflects an attempt to balance two competing goals: ensuring national security while also maintaining open access to a hugely popular platform. By embedding American oversight, lawmakers hope they can limit risks without stifling creativity, communication, or economic opportunities tied to TikTok. The algorithm. Question: who holds the power? At the heart of the entire debate lies the algorithm. This is not just a piece of code, it's the lifeblood of TikTok. The algorithm dictates what users see, how long they stay on the app, and even what conversations dominate the public sphere. It is the invisible hand guiding cultural moments, shaping trends, and influencing everything from politics to entertainment. Some have questioned whether an American buyer could create a new algorithm or whether they would continue to rely on the existing system. When asked directly, Trump sidestepped the question, leaving uncertainty about what form control would take. This hesitation underscores how central the algorithm truly is. It isn't something that can simply be swapped out without consequences. But one thing is clear, whoever controls TikTok's algorithm controls a powerful cultural and political tool in the United States. This is why negotiations have been so complex, and why both sides are cautious about what they give up. The algorithm debate is not just technical, it's philosophical, touching on the values of transparency, trust, and influence in a hyper-connected society. It raises questions about whether algorithms should remain trade secrets or be treated as global assets requiring international standards of accountability. What it means for users and the future of social media. So, what does all of this mean for you, the everyday TikTok user? In the short term, not much may change. Videos will keep rolling, trends will keep spreading, and creators will continue building communities. But behind the scenes, the structure of ownership and control could redefine how the app evolves in the US. For users, the deal could mean stronger privacy protections and more transparent oversight. For the government, it represents a strategic win in the broader competition with China over technology and influence. For TikTok itself, it's a test of how adaptable a global platform can be when caught between two superpowers. Looking ahead, TikTok's story may set a precedent for how the US approaches other foreign-owned platforms. Will similar demands emerge for companies in gaming, e-commerce, or AI? The resolution of this case will help define the rules of engagement in the digital era for years to come. The White House's TikTok deal reflects more than just a business negotiation. It represents a balancing act between national security, free markets, cultural influence, and diplomacy. The story of TikTok's future is still unfolding, but what's clear is that this moment will shape not only the app, but also the broader relationship between the United States and China in the digital era. As TikTok evolves under new arrangements, one truth stands out. Technology is politics. Apps like TikTok show how digital culture influences boardrooms, courtrooms, and global summits. Do you think US control of the algorithm protects privacy and security, or risks concentrating power in a few corporations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown engaging, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into global tech and politics.